I love to make slimline cards, but it's not always easy to find slimline envelopes in pretty colors to match our cards. In this video, I am sharing an exciting new die that solves that problem beautifully. Hello and welcome to Karen's Creative Cards on YouTube. I am Karen Hashik and I'm so excited to share the new Slimline Envelope Die from Dies to Die For at shop.scrapbook101.com. Now here's the first couple cards I made with the matching envelopes. All the dies you see in this video are from Dies to Die For, and links to the dies are in the description box, as well as links to my blog posts with more specifics on each card shown. Most of us are ready to say goodbye to winter, but these are new winter dies, and they took a little detour to Poland before coming back to Dies to Die For in Michigan. And since it is still winter in Wisconsin and Michigan, I made a few winter cards with them. So we have a wreath, builder, and ice skates. And again, all the details on these cards are in my blog. And there's some pretty snow-like paper behind there. And then I made an envelope to match the card, or at least match parts of it, with the new die. So this is the first one I made. I'm going to show you how easy it is. I like to put a strip of easy cut two-sided adhesive on here, and then you simply take off the top piece and it will seal very, very well. And I did that on that one. Here's another card I made. This one is a party mask, or like Mardi Gras, and again it was delayed a little bit, but I made a big party slimline card, Let the Party Begin, with many of the new dies, Happy Happy Birthday, and then this is the matching envelope for this one. If it's really brightly colored, I put a address label on there, and then you can address it easily to the person you're sending it to. And on this one, I sealed it with Lick and Stick, which is a remoistenable, I can't say that, envelope glue. So it's wet when it goes on, and then when it dries, you can simply lick it and it will close the envelope. So those are a couple options. And of course, if we're card makers, we have, you know, tape rollers and other adhesive, but I often give my cards away and I like them to have an option to be able to easily close it. Here's one more winter card I made with the new dies. There's a large slimline window and winter trees and icicles, and all the rest of the cards I'm sharing are made with fun folds in the slimline or mini slimline size. You can take just about any fun fold and adapt it to a slimline or mini slimline, and they make the cards so much more interesting than a regular folding card. So this one is a Slimline Easel. So it has a sled that will hold it up, although after I made it I thought I should have put it up a little higher, so right now I'm using the snow border to hold it up. And it is a winter scene through that window, and then on the inside it says Winter Birthday Wishes. So for someone who has a winter birthday, and again a matching envelope. It has sky and a few flakes, and I thought that was really pretty, and I think I'm going to be making a lot of these for my slimline cards. So this one is an angle pop-up card with the new teapot die, and I like these fun fold. It's an angle and it pops up, and there's a teacup. Time for tea, you and me, with this very pretty vintagey like paper. I found that, I'll show you on that next one, the lighter weight pattern paper works best. I had some a little bit heavier, and I think the lighter weight really works best in my opinion. This one is a Slimline Joy Fold card. I made an Easter card with many of the new dies, Hippity Happy Easter, and I took a bite out of my chocolate bunny and it is a Joy Fold, and I made a matching envelope with this really cute paper. So two things I wanted to point out. Number one, if it is thicker, sometimes it doesn't fold as well. So again, I do recommend the thinner. And if it's a pattern that has to be up or down, I was really paying attention, and I want to make sure my bunnies were upright, so they're up that way. But then, of course, on this side, they're technically upside down. So do pay attention when you're using pattern paper that has a pattern. You're better off with one that can be either way. But you know what? I don't know how many envelopes I have sealed and then addressed like this. So I'm going to put an address label there and write the address, and I'm sure the person will tear it open and really won't care. When I make a new fun fold, I make a template with paper I really don't care about, and I play around with the sizing and where to put things, and so I know exactly where I want what I want to do when I actually do it. So this Slimline Joy Fold card was 4 by 12, and I scored it at 3.5 here, and so that leaves 4 this way, and so it fits into the envelope. It's actually 4 by 8, I think, or 7 3/4, but anyway, fits into there beautifully. And then this piece here, the top piece, is 8 by 4 scored, and I'm sorry, it's 3 by 6 scored at 6. So it's the Joy Fold, just adjusted for a slimline card. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to make a slimline envelope with this awesome die. It's very reasonably priced. I've seen other slimline envelope dies at $40 to $50, but the Dies to Die For die is $25.99. When I watched Stacy's original tutorial, she suggested putting temporary tape on here to hold the paper in place, and so that's what I did. And you're going to take the die, and this side here does not cut. So you're going to start with a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and you're going to fold it in half. I should have said that first. So this 12 by 12 piece of paper is folded in half, and this side here goes along the folded bottom. So this is the folded bottom here, and then you run it through your machine. Now the width will go through just about any die cutting machine. The length is a little longer that some allow, but all you have to do is put it through halfway, turn it around, and put it through again. I've decided I'm making a lot of these now, so I'm going to get the extended plate for my Vagabond 2. I hadn't had it before, but I'm going to get one now, so I don't have to put it through and then flip it, but you can definitely do that. So you run it through, and then when you take it off, I'll just show you, this is how the die looks. It has, again, the non-cutting bottom, and that's how the die looks. And you're left with this. And you might have to trim it just a little bit, as I did. So it opens up like this, and you're going to cut off one of the tops, and then one on the same side as where you cut that off, you're going to cut off these pieces. Although Stacy did mention that you could leave those on, and if you put these two side pieces, if you glued them together and you had a very kind of something that has a lot more layers on it, that might work well for you too. But I have been cutting off these side pieces, and I like to mark where the lines are, or fold them already. It's a little hard for me to see that right where those lines are that we're going to cut along. Now you can definitely use the scissors to do this, but I've found I'm happier with it if I use a cutting tool. cutting, and I'm using my Fiskars. And I am going to, you see those two little lines there? I'm lining that up in the groove. And then what I like to do is just move it over just a little bit. I like to take off just a little bit more than the top, and then it seems to lay even better. And then I'm going to take and line those two. This I want right along the line, and if you just go down, you kind of can feel it give when it's done. And again, line up those two little marks. That's up, so it's preventing it from going. And then you're going to fold on the scored lines. Another thing that I like to do to get it to really lay nicely and really look nice is to take a corner rounder and round these corners. It's optional, but I find that I like the look better when I do that. So now you're going to take some kind of adhesive, and I've just been using a good tape runner, but that's up to you. You can use glue or a stronger piece of score tape or something, and then you're simply going to fold that up, and I had a piece. This is what I was talking about. I use Easy Cut adhesive from Thermoweb and Eileen Hull, and I cut a piece that is going to go along here. I think it was like maybe 8 by 1/2 inch, but whatever length that you would like. And it's two-sided adhesive, and you simply take the adhesive off one side and then press that down. And then when I'm ready to mail it, obviously I will take the adhesive off the other side, and then I have a beautiful envelope. See how easy that was, and they're really pretty and fun to make. Now here is another card that I made. This one it's an Easter egg hunt invitation. These are new words from Dies to Die For, and it's a mini slimline. So I showed you Joy Fold. I showed you the other Joy Fold template that I made and card, and this one opens up like this and like this, and I have a large Easter egg decorated, an Easter basket with some eggs, and then the invitation is come to Grandma's house on Easter Sunday at 1 o'clock. We're going to have an Easter egg hunt. And I used this paper on the card, and then I used it also on the envelope. Let me just show you quickly. This is the template that I made for the mini version. So it's 3.5 by 9, and I scored it at 3 inches. So this is, the total is 3.5 by 9, but this part here would be 6 inches, and you scored it at 3. And then this piece here is 9 by 2 3/4, and I scored it at 4.5. So this piece here is on top. It's scored in half, and that is the card that I made for this envelope. And I used that same paper, and then I did put an address label on there just because this is really bright, so I can address it to my grandson and mail it out. And it has one of those sticky two-sided adhesive sheets there. So I'm going to show you how to adjust the Slimline Envelope Die to make an envelope for a mini Slimline card. And bonus, it will also, when it's done, fit an A2 card. So the height, you really can't adjust too much. So once you're done, you have an envelope that will fit a slimline, a mini slimline, or it's an A2, fit an A2 too. So I have this card that I made for another video, and I can slide it in, and now I can make my own, easily make my own A2 envelopes with this too, which is very exciting. Okay, so you're going to take a piece of 12 by 12 paper, and I don't have a lot of 12 by 12 paper, so actually the width is 7.5. So if you have some that are long enough but they aren't wide enough, you can definitely still make envelopes with it. So you're going to cut it to 7.5, and you're going to put the fold on the bottom part of the die and run it through like that. So this is 7.5, and one side gets cut and the other side is what we're going to adjust. We are going to score it at 1/2 inch on the side that was not cut by the die. And then this is the side that we're going, yeah, this is the side that we're going to cut off. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is cut this corner off. And I am going to cut off the top. So again, I'm going to line up and then move it just a little bit more. We're going to cut that off, and then we're going to cut these side ones off. And those you want lined up pretty perfectly. Oh. You can kind of feel it give when you get to that part that you want it to end at. But I'm always nervous I'm going to go too far. Now this one, you have to be careful. I'm going to finish the rest by hand, I think. And then we see how this has a mitered corner. I'm going to do that on this side too. Just wondering if I have to take this corner off. And then I want to miter this corner too. And then I want to round, I have to fold this up. So this corner here was rounded by the die, so I'm going to round this corner with a corner rounder. And then I'm going to round these two corners as well. And again, that's optional. I just think it lays nicer and looks a little bit better to do it that way. So then you fold on all the scored lines. And use your tape runner. I'm going to take an address label and put it on here because that's really bright to write the address on. And I would add a strip of that adhesive and the envelope. The mini slimline or A2 envelope is complete and ready to send the card. So we're going to make a card too, I'm going to make another Easter egg invitation, Easter egg hunt invitation. I have 2 grandsons, and they're both invited, of course. So these are the pieces that I need. What I'm going to make, this is going to be a mini slimline version, and it was cut 12 by 3.5, and it's going to be the W fold. So I thought that was just another fun fold I found, and I've adjusted it for both the regular slimline and the mini slimline. This is 3 inches, and I want this strip that goes down the middle to be centered there, and each one of these squares are 2 1/4. We'll try to remember to put a link into the tutorial, although I've already linked it in another video, where I learned how to do this. And the lady that was showing it, sometimes she put her squares all on the top, and sometimes she did top down, and I thought that look was really cool. So that's the card that we're going to make, and we're going to decorate it a little bit differently than I did the other. So this strip is 1.5 by 12, and then I cut it off just a little bit less than 12 because I found that if I had it exactly the width, sometimes the pieces stuck out on the end. So I trimmed off just a little bit, and then I folded it in half, and I folded it in half again. So you have your W there. The W look, and then I put adhesive on the back of those, so that's ready to go. This is I'm going to show you the dies that I use. These are all new dies from Dies to Die For, and she has the new Slimline Nature edges, so there's a snowbank, grass, and clouds. Although that makes nice hills too. So and of course for this size card I wouldn't necessarily need the whole slimline length, but if you're going to get one set that has a lot of really cool borders, this is the one to get, and then of course you can cut it down if you want, but it works perfectly for slimline cards. I also use the Easter basket with eggs. That's not a new one, but it's definitely available, and I really like it, so I'm going to use that. There's a brand new one with tulips, and I have cut out a bunch. I'm going to use them, and I saved the rest for the next card. Really cheerful tulips. This is the new Easter Fun Words set. It has hippity hoppity chick. It's hunt, egg, bunny, and Easter. So I did the Easter egg hunt with that. And what I really like about these is they are layered dies, but you can choose to use the words without the layers. It's really a pretty font, and I've used them many times without the layers and with the layers. So these layered sets by Dies to Die For are really awesome. And then there's a beautiful new set that is an Easter lily, and so I decided this time I'm going to have some flowers in amongst the eggs that I'm hiding. So I have put a piece of 2-sided tape along here, and of course this is longer than I need, but I'll just trim it off perfectly. And you could really use what you trim off and put it, make another layer in parts of it, or even when you cut it out, the other piece that's on top here also looks like grass, so if you wanted a couple different layers, it's real easy to get them. So we have some grass, and then we have our pretty flowers. I love tulips and Easter lilies. So I'm going to Put some glue on here. And slide them. And here's a pretty Easter lily. Won't it be nice when we have our spring flowers? I'm in Wisconsin, so it's still winter, but it's getting there. Getting warmer. And one more. And then we have some Easter eggs to hide in the grass. And I decided to use glue dots for those. Top of the grass, I guess. Okay, so our front of the card is complete with the beautiful flowers and the Easter eggs hiding. And then we're going to take our W piece, and you want this to be coming out. And I've marked the center of there, and I'm going to go up to the edge but not completely to the edge so that it doesn't stick out when it's closed. And then you remove the adhesive on the other side and close your card. And there you can see that you have that shape, but it closes. This one is the actual invitation. It tells them where the hunt is. And again, I'm using that Easter egg paper, so our envelope's going to match the card. And this one is going up. And then we have Easter egg hunt. This one's going to go down. So you just center it. Oh, a couple more eggs there. Up and down. So our mini slimline card is complete with some pretty flowers and Easter eggs, and then when you open it up you have your W fold which says Easter Egg Hunt, Grandma's House, Easter Sunday, 1 o'clock, and then I'm going to mail it in the matching envelope that I made. I had so much fun creating these Slimline and Mini Slimline cards with matching envelopes, and hope my cards encourage you to give some of these dies and ideas a try. Thanks for watching, sharing, and subscribing, and thanks too for helping me share the joy of creativity.